Hey, how you guys doing? It's Medusa from Brothers Comics. Welcome to What We Missed in Wrestling, our recap podcast as we move into the years that we stopped watching professional wrestling. We started in 1989 because that's when we thought that we stopped, but we didn't watch this shit in 1990 either, y'all. On the line tonight is the full complement of the folks. It's the Magnum BB, man. What's going on?
Welcome back. This is
Yeah.
not the highlight of this podcast series, I don't
No.
think. This
Well,
spoiler alert.
yeah, exactly. One of our favorite wrestlers wins. Spoiler alert.
Yeah,
Also, for parts unknown, height unknown, weight
Wa-
unknown.
Weight is
Uh, yeah,
gravity
it's
enhanced. Yeah.
it's Big Hutch. What's happening, man?
Hello.
Yeah. So as we go through this monthly and yearly, we moved into 1990. This is at a time when pay-per-views were not once a month. Thank the Lord. They're really kind of quarterly, like every 3 months or so. So Royal Rumble here is in January of 1990, and then the next pay-per-view is actually WrestleMania. So we'll get into that for sure. But before that, where the hell were you in January of 1990, Magnum BP?
I guess the second semester, second quarter was just about to start up in college, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
So
I'm I'm
that would have
firmly
been the
undergrad as
first time
well.
we took physics. That's when engineering candidates started to drop like flies.
You know what? I want to teach. Yeah, I understand. Hutch, where you at in 1990 in January?
When did Tyson lose his belt?
That was around that time, right?
And I was, for some reason, kind of remember waking up from, I think I was in a damn near 6 inches of snow in the military or something. And I woke up and heard that
Mm.
Tyson got knocked out by Buster Douglas.
Oh wow, okay.
I think that would
Wow.
be right.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember. I was
Oh,
at
well, it
a
says
college.
November 2nd, 1990. Wait a minute, is that right? I swear to God
Mm.
it was snowing outside when I woke up and heard that shit. But anyway, somewhere in that range of my life.
February 11th, 1990 in the Tokyo Dome.
Oh, so
Yeah,
you're just a month off. Yeah.
Dave
Okay.
Meltzer gave it 7 stars.
Yes, Jesus.
yeah,
Uh,
man.
yeah. I remember being at a college party when that news broke. Like somebody just come running down into the basement, like, "Oh, fucking Tyson lost! Tyson lost!" And I was in disbelief.
Like
But
what? Like
anywho,
lost his shoes when he got to the
yeah,
arena? Like what?
yeah,
Lost
Right,
his wallet in the
lost,
locker
right.
room while he was out kicking
lost
somebody's
his
ass?
mind. Lost his mind. Yeah, yeah, something like that. But anyway, so let's jump into it. We are in January 1990. Our comment on January 21st to be specifically, Orlando, Florida, at the Orlando Arena, which is now the Safeway Arena for us Floridians that we know where that is. Attendance is 16,000 people. Our
Oh my
commentators
God.
Tony Shabato and Jesse the Body Ventura. Just before we get into this too much, Tony Schiavone, much better on this than the other podcast that we
Mm.
watched. He definitely was able to give some of that snark back to Jesse the Body here.
I did kind of
And
cringe as soon as I saw that combo. I was like, "Oh man, Tony!"
yeah. And Jesse dressed up as Mickey Mouse there and running down all the Mickey Mouse characters and whatnot. But
Yeah, I didn't understand
anyway,
that.
yeah, it's all good. All right.
Oh,
So
is that
that's it.
because it was in Orlando? Is that why he was? Is that the
Yes,
connection?
yes,
Okay.
yes. He was running them down. So we have, what is it, four matches that before the actual main event, which is the Royal Rumble. I guess we should talk a little bit about the Royal Rumble that just happened this past weekend. As I was saying to you guys before we recorded, the Royal Rumble was created by Vince McMahon, or I think Pat Patterson, to counteract WCW or the NWA's Bunkhouse Stampede, which was a in cage come as you are, beat the shit out of each other, kind of battle royal, but not with 30 people in it. This is the reaction to that. As Hutch read on Wikipedia, it's a gimmick pay-per-view. So
That's right.
they had their annual version this year. There's a women's version now. There's a men's version, and then whatever matches they have. So the women's winner was what, Rhea Ripley, who
Hmm.
started at one and finished the whole thing. And then the winner of the men's was Cody Rhodes. Ironically, with Dusty being the person that created the Bunkhouse Stampede, that won the Bunkhouse Stampede, etc. So yeah, I didn't watch any of it. This is what I know from reading. Anybody watch that on the cock?
The
Any Royal
Bunkhouse
Rumble?
Stampede.
No,
Oh,
the
the new
Royal
Royal
Rumble from
Rumble.
20.
No,
Yeah, Royal Rumble 2023.
I heard it was
Hell
all
no.
right, but no, that's hours of
Mhm.
my life.
Yeah, you're
Right.
not getting that back. Yeah.
I'll just read the summary. Yeah.
Yeah, that's basically where I'm at. All right, y'all. So let's get into it. And please, if you're watching this on YouTube and you see Hutch has his Lanny Poffo screen thing behind him, we will get to the RIP for Lanny Poffo here momentarily because it's just gonna come up unironically here. So yeah, it was just like oh yeah, by the way, that happened today when we were talking about this. All right, match number 1, the greatest tag team of all time, the Bushwhackers. If you listen to the last podcast, you know why I'm saying that. Versus the Fabulous Rougeaus. Any match thoughts off the top there, Brother Beavis?
The one thing is like the thing that hit me is like the Bushwhackers are probably like the best house show tag team because they were just clowns and like
They
the
do
whole
anything.
they get the crowd going. They got all their little gimmicks, the head licking, the
Yeah,
the
fighting.
just everything. So I was
No
like, yeah,
teeth.
I could see this like getting over big time at a house show. Like they just roll those guys out. And they did the same thing for like 3 years. They probably made
Mm,
a ton of money and
yeah.
didn't really work for it relative to everything they'd done before. So good on them. And I'm sure they're in the Hall of Fame by now. So
Oh yeah, for sure.
The most
Um,
definitely.
the battering ram is pretty dope, though. I gotta say I do like the battering ram finisher.
Oh,
hold
that's
up.
awful.
Me and you are usually in
Uh,
lockstep on these
I'm
things,
not
and
saying it's effective, but I'm just saying
well,
it's a
corny is,
mine,
but
mine,
unfortunately,
yeah, that's it.
offense,
My
McMahon.
my literal note on here says Bushwhackers win, battering ram, love finisher. Love.
I
Like
love it.
seriously, that's an absolute love. Because come on, man. The reason I don't know if you listened to the clip or saw the audio clip is that the Bushwhackers, who were known as the Kiwi sheep herders when we met them in Mid South and UWF, that were
right.
having barbed wire matches, cage matches with the Fantastics or whatever.
Bloodbaths.
And
They would do
yes,
anything.
absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Complete in the after magazines, like all right, whatever. So during the first Crockett Cup in 1987, the Rock and Roll Express lost to them in the first round of the
Sure
Crockett Cup.
did.
And so I'm like, well, if the Rock
Hey,
and Roll Express lost to them, they are the greatest tag team of all time, apparently. So yes, but not necessarily this version of the Kiwi sheep herder Bushwhackers. But yeah, my note in here says the Bushwhackers are way over. As much as that gimmick is ridiculous, they are super over. And it was like, oh, it's probably just little kids. I'm looking at the crowd. Them ain't little kids in there. There's some whole ass teenagers and adults in there doing this. So no,
hey, they paid money.
absolutely
You,
not.
you can do whatever the fuck you want.
Well,
Right.
and you
But
also see like there is no like this audience does not get tired of like a clown heel, like an overtop clown heel. Like everybody
yeah,
that's just a goof is just like they can't get
there.
enough.
And why would you
Yeah.
like the
And
Rougeaus?
yeah, and there's nothing really to like about them. I mean, they're just perfect heel fodder for a gimmick
They're
tag team.
Canadian punk bitches, right?
Yeah, yeah, but they're the perfect team for that. They're like two straight men, and well, not in that regard, but two straight men that just gonna bump for the gimmick and then lose
Get
essentially.
paid.
Yeah, I mean that's basically it. I mean, but as an opening match, the crowd was super hot. They got to see what they want. They got to see a battering ram. Love. I can't like with the Bushwhackers, y'all. I cannot. All right.
And
Let's,
the Rougeaus are all American boys at this time.
yes.
Is their gimmick. I
Oh,
didn't really get that either.
yeah, that's fine. All right, match number 2. All right, so we can get to this. Match 2 is Brutus Beefcake, who's awful, versus the genius Lanny Poffo. Okay, so we got to start it now. So we're gonna. All right, we as Magnum VB sent me a text later in the week. He's like, I guess we're gonna have to talk about Lanny Poffo's presentation in this match here, and
Yeah.
we will. But and I having a whole bit talking about this. He winds up dying today, 68 years old. Do you got any Lanny Poffo memories? Because wrestling memories for me they aren't great because I wasn't really a fan. Hutch, you got the screensaver, so what do you remember about the poet?
You can find this on the internet. I mean, I think I found out that him and Randy Savage were brothers. Like shit, maybe 10 years ago, maybe
Come
longer
on.
than that.
Come on.
Man, I don't know. None of these people, none of these people's real names is the name of their character. Their real their character persona. They're all made up
Right.
shit.
Right. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah,
Come
I
on.
mean, I think I remember him being the genius and doing a poem and then getting his ass beat. Usually,
Fair. So back to PP. You remember anything about Lanny
I mean,
Poffo
I kind of remember him
wrestling
more
wise?
as Leaping Lanny Poffo. He was kind of that a rung or two below Tito Santana, like confident or competent, might get a job or victory. You would think like you would be like he could pull this out, but he never did. So that
Yeah.
and then like when he became the genius, he just like never wrestled for So yeah, I was
Yes.
I kind of knew him as that mid tier, and then they did this with him, and listen to it now. His rhymes are not. Although what did he rhyme this time? He rhymed accomplishment was something. He had something. I was like, damn, that's you had to
That's-
work for that one. That's like you're rhyming like 4-syllable words here. That's great.
yeah.
So
I the reveal of him being Savage's brother definitely happened in the WWF. So 10 years ago, that would be a stretch, Hodge.
was there
But
ever an angle about it, or was just did they
I
talk about
believe
it?
so. I mean, because how would we have known? Because we weren't really watching WWF. So it had to have been revealed on there in some way, shape, or form. I mean, again, because Savage, I mean, we're in 1990. He's about to be taken out of the ring here shortly because he's about to become a commentator. And then, like 2 years after that, he's in WCW himself. So,
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, I don't really remember much about his matches, that him being a good worker. I've heard stories that he was better in the territories, and then Vince gimmicked him up, and then this is what you get: the poet, the genius, and all of these types of things. When you hear him talk or heard him talk outside of the ring, he sounded like his character in the ring. I was like, I don't know if he's doing a bit or that's not really how he sounds. Hello, blah, 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 like all of that stuff. So, I mean, I know a portion of his life was trying to, kind of keep Savage's name out of the mud after he died, because what WWE did a pretty awful biography of Randy Savage on A&E, man, where they
Yeah.
really buried him. And he did come out, kind of swinging on that. Like, yo, all these other biographies were kind of glowing and y'all just kind of shit on my brother. So, I mean, I think that was a part of his life. Savage has been dead for almost 10 years now. So, I mean, yeah, it's wild. So yeah, R.I.P. Lanny Poffo. Sorry that this happened today when we're about to talk about what you just did in this wrestling
yeah,
match.
be
Okay.
nice ish.
Well, but it's not okay. So this happens occasionally. You can use was it Adrian Sweet or Adrian Adonis? God, I'm trying to think of some other people that does the faux gay wrestling gimmick. What Chuck and Palumbo or whatever did this in the
Mhm.
WWF, Chuck or whatever, a few years ago, where they pretend that they wrestle in an effeminate kind of way to get essentially cheap heat. And this is where his character had evolved into, whether it was the poet before this or after, or the genius before or after this, I don't really know. But he kind of came into this character where he's very feminine or acting very feminine while he's wrestling, and then the babyface, which is Beefcake here, got to play off of that. And it's there's just wrestling
I hate
tropes, man, and this is a solid one from the 80s where you would get this kind of thing. And you just kind of wonder, you know, and it's clearly a McMahon, I'm sure. Like, haha, pal, he's gonna be gay, haha. And it just, it's not great. And the only reason that it's worse is because Beefcake's in it, because he
Yeah.
sucks.
Yeah.
Beefcake,
Yeah.
literally the worst possible wrestler that you could have put into this thing, making fun of these mannerisms and not throughout the entire match. He sucks. Beefcake
Yeah.
is one of the worst. Tell me
Yeah.
I'm wrong.
No, you're not. And this, this is like an extreme, take on the chicken shit heel. But you're right; it is completely cheap heat. And the other thing that's amusing is all the stuff that they've post processed edited off of Peacock. They'll still let the chants come through during this match.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was. You forget kind of. I don't know. You just forget how bad it
time
was.
period.
Yeah. And
it's well,
there one point where he like stops the match and goes out and does a cartwheel, and then just I was like, come on, what? Yeah. So
what is this?
It's still better than the Red Rooster.
Yeah. But you're right. The barber does suck. And like his outfit was just all shredded up. His balding hair put back together with
his muffin top
with all the hairspray. Yeah. He has no offense, like elbows and knees and the flying knee and sleeper.
Yep. Yeah.
So yeah, is this before or after the accident?
I think this is really. I was gonna say after.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna have to Google, but he still sucked then too.
Right, all right. There's nothing.
Like he's just one of Hogan's buddies. Yeah, that just got dragged along for the ride, man. Like, and this is just awful.
I'll get you off my entourage, and you can guys get your own fucking check.
Right. Yeah, I mean it's a basic match. It's a lot of stalling, probably more than necessary or whatever. They're like, we got to make this shit last 2.5 hours, y'all. So stretch it out. They bumped the ref. Beefcake puts him in the sleeper, cuts like the front of his hair, essentially, like in the middle of his head. Perfect comes out, giving him the perfect plex. Okay, I love the perfect plex. That's not necessarily a devastating move to give to somebody when you're trying to beat them up, though. Like, all right, bam, maneuver. Yeah, it's not. Yeah. It's all right. I'm gonna hold you here for a second. Yeah, it doesn't really make sense. So yeah, and then afterwards,
this is just prior to the parasailing accident, by the way.
Okay, all right, thank you. All right, so and then Beefcake gets hit with a chair.
In the abdomen, the old abdomen chair, like
the abdomen area. Yes,
and they couldn't even make him like spit up fake blood.
Yeah, he sucks. But this definitely feels like this is a time where there's no blood in WWEF.
Oh yeah,
because it seemed like it should have been. Yeah. Okay. No. Well, I mean, but again, and I think that's going to last. Maybe it lasts until the Attitude Era. I'm trying to think. Was there any time that people were bleeding that? Before that, it's again, we didn't really watch a whole lot of WWF at the time. But yeah, it's a double DQ finish. Lazy booking, and Beefcake gets beat up, Poffo gets out. I mean, that's basically it. So yeah, R.I.P.
What's that GP? What are y'all saying? What's that term?
Which one?
GP or GP?
Cheap heat.
Oh, cheap heat. Oh.
Yeah. The easy example would be, you know what? I'm in Cleveland. Cleveland sucks. Boo. That's GP. Okay. Oh, boo. Yeah, exactly.
It's all new to me, damn it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Yeah, that's the easiest example. Your easy reason to get somebody to hate you. So, yes. Lanny Poffo going out and doing a cartwheel and acting lightweight gay. Definitely cheap heat. All right. Match number 3, y'all. This one hurt me. Like, bad. Because this is so awful. Ronnie Garvin versus Greg Valentine. Okay, a couple of things. Maybe not wrestle people that look exactly like one another.
He wrestled Dino Bravo like the last time we saw him.
Yeah, but no, seriously.
Like if blonde hair?
Look, if he had the wig for Miss Atlanta Lively on, would you really think there'd be the difference between him and Greg Valentine? Come on, son. So yeah, this match is terrible. So
this match was you have to factor in like every Greg Valentine match is the most boring thing you're going to see. So if you like strip the Greg Valentine boringness out of it, I didn't think it was too bad, but the whole thing with the knee pad that he reversed, like he had they both had gimmick knee pads. Did they call it the hammer jammer?
The hammer jammer. Yeah, the
Yeah.
hammer
So
jammer. Yeah, yeah.
so
Love
Valentine
is my
has
note.
the heartbreaker, which is his shin pad that he turns around on his calf. But Ronnie had the hammer jammer
The
until
hammer
that
jammer.
that dastardly Jimmy Hart pulled it off of him. And at one point
Yes.
he was in the figure four and he's like, "No." I was like,
Yes.
for
They put
real?
him on. He was
For
like,
real? Former WCW champion Ronnie
yes,
Garvin?
awful.
Come on.
Yes, it's awful. This is sick. Again, it's hard hitting this match.
Yeah.
So many chops. I mean, they're like laying it in or whatever.
And they had this was a submission match and they went for pinfalls
They
like
kept
every
trying to
10
get
seconds.
pinfalls.
I'm
Right,
like,
that's
what?
my note too.
Oh my lord!
That's my note
Like,
here.
I
there
Too,
was-
like
that
Ronnie Garvin too.
Ronnie Garvin's like,
not this
I'm gonna get
version.
this small package. This small
Yeah,
package got me the
exactly.
title.
Yeah, when he
Oh
went to
my
the
God.
WWF or E and dyed his hair and all that shit or something, and then he started being a ref. Jeez,
Yeah,
cash out.
we're past him being, I think, the referee at this point. I
I
think.
thought that was still coming, but I don't
Is it
know.
still
He was
coming?
he was
Yeah.
like ring announcer or someone. I don't even know what he did. I think
Rugged. He was rugged when he entered, and then he wound up being the referee, and then he wound up being unemployed.
yeah,
So
he's just of a size in that ring against most of those people where he was always just going to look small.
yeah, and then probably in real life he could probably beat the shit out of
Oh
everybody in
yeah,
that ring,
oh yeah,
and
probably
but he just never fit there.
except for Haku.
Yeah. Oh no, nobody fucks with Haku. But yeah, like I mean, the match is hard hitting. They keep going for pins. There's the figure four spot where Garvin no sells it, and then he reverses it, and then I mean, again, the figure four ain't beat nobody. Like it's my
Nobody
my
over
note.
3 priority ever loses to the figure four.
Yeah, it's just a bad move, man. My note says the figure four is quicksand. Or like it's just so scary and like freaking 80 something, but it's really not scary in real life.
I assumed
Wait a minute,
figure
if you
fours were
put
everywhere.
figure four on you, that shit hurt.
I'm talking about in wrestling.
In
Okay.
wrestling,
Yeah,
right?
like
Whatever.
in wrestling, it's like, oh, this is like this big move. He's gonna put him out. He's got it locked in. My God, but nobody ever submits. Nobody ever loses with
Nope.
it or
No
wins
one
with
ever
it.
loses.
At
Right.
best, you get like fucked somehow and then like get pinned in it.
Yeah, you pass
Right.
out.
You
Yeah,
pass
it's not-
out and
Yeah, it's not like anybody.
in
Now
pain.
you have never seen a non-jobber submit to the figure four, unless there was some other shenanigans that went on before
right.
that.
Somebody's
So,
pulling on the ring ropes or
yeah,
applying
or
pressure.
they broke the leg earlier, and that was a part of the angle. But yeah, no, it's just bad. Bad, awful match is my final note there. But yeah, the winner is Ronnie Garvin, though. That's a surprise because
Yeah.
I don't think we've ever seen him win a match in this shit since he's been there.
They probably
Like Ronnie
split the
Garvin wins.
profits.
Yeah, I mean, and yeah, so he beats him with I mean, what I don't even it looked like a scorpion deathlock
It
kind of.
was
They called it a
effectively a
reverse figure
sharpshooter.
four. Yeah, sharpshooter. That's right. A reverse figure four is what they called it. But yeah, that's fine. All right. Whew. Talking about uncomfortable. Now, okay, so WWF pay-per-views in this era has a lot of pre-taped backstage bits where people are talking, and and then we didn't talk about the beginning of this thing with Vince McMahon doing full Vince McMahon. Oh my God, what's 1990? Welcome to the freaking Royal Rumble. I can't do the voice, so we ain't talking about that. We ain't talking about all these bits in between where the people are in characters and being completely over top. Okay, so they only have one in-ring bit, and it's with Brother Love and Sensational Sherry, or I guess she would have been Queen Sherry at this time.
He introduced her as Sister Queen
Sister.
Sensational Sherry, I believe.
Yeah.
Or some
Okay.
combination of that.
Sherry Martel or Sherry?
Sherry Martel, yes. Yeah.
But she was with Macho Man, who was
shit.
the Macho King,
Yeah.
so she was
Yeah. Yeah. So she comes out and she, and he praises her for being okay. I've seen Sherry without her makeup. And when it's not so over the top, because she was way over the top in this one. She had like pineapples on her eyes. Okay, she's not a terrible looking woman. Was not. Okay. So, but he's just praising it on and on about how she's class, she's got grace, she's a lady and she's a queen or whatever. And then they bring out Dusty's fan. Um, what was it? What I keep going to call her Charmel. What's her name?
Sapphire.
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 And yes, in her polka dots, headband, sweatshirt, and pants. And they proceed to run her down with every "we can't call you a nigga" trope possible. About her hair and how her looks and her dumpiness and like all of this stuff. And she just sits there and takes it. And that part for me was the worst part. Like I mean, again,
Yeah.
she's gonna get a chance to fire back at the end, but at no point in time she does a chance to, say back to Sherry, "Well, look at you, you skinny hoe. You got pineapples on your shit." Like nothing like that. Like nothing. They just run her down, and then she finally slaps her that Sherry oversells completely. And then Macho runs out, and then we have a freaking assault,
Yeah.
basically, where Macho assaults her until Dusty comes out there. Like, help me out here, y'all.
Yeah.
It was uncomfortable to say the least.
Yeah. It was pretty bad.
Mm,
The whole thing was awful.
yeah, yeah.
Well, what was going on in the real world? I'm going back, but yeah, that
Well,
sounds awful.
it was bad. Well, I mean, again, Dusty. I mean, we've been on a couple of these. Dusty got this poker dot shit over. People like on the last pay per view we watched, people was going crazy for Dusty Rose and then polka dots. And I think Brother Beavis and I had said, like, yeah, I don't remember him be. I mean, maybe they're pumping in crowd noise and the replays here, but people look to be hyped for Dusty and then polka dots.
It
And I
Yeah.
is
don't know if they
Dusty
were like,
Rhodes.
man, I mean, but I don't know if people was like, yeah, Vince or somebody was like, yeah, you're too hype. We need to even gimmick you even more and put you with this black lady and then make you do goofy dances in the ring and shit to really make you
What,
look like a
didn't we
clown.
didn't we figure out that was his way of fucking with Dusty Rhodes?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
There's no way that he could have just went for that. That's horrible.
Well, Brother Beavis has told the story that Dusty's thought was like, oh, you're gonna do me this? I'll get that shit over, and he did.
Yeah. Yeah. My recollection is like they just turned him into a complete clown. But I'm watching this. I'm like, he's winning consistently and is as over as anybody. But again, this is
Mhm.
another like clown baby face that's not in title contention. This is
Mm-hmm.
Hacksaw
Yeah,
Duggan.
yeah,
This is
yeah.
Dusty. This is the Bushwhackers. This is
Yep.
like
Every
they
baby
you
face.
have the whole roster is like clown baby faces not in the title picture and monster
Mm-hmm.
heels that Hogan is done with. That's
Yeah.
it. That's the entire
Yeah.
roster.
Yeah, it's bad in that regard. Yeah, it was uncomfortable, and it was like, okay, so hey, Dusty is like this dude now. Yay, we're good. Now we got to give you this lady who's not a wrestler, from what I've heard
Mhm.
in other podcasts. Not a wrestler, literally a fan that they just pulled this shit out of. Like, oh, this will be a fun gimmick, and it sucked. And then it'll fix. I mean, Dusty's gonna be out of here momentarily too. not for not for too much longer. He's gonna be out of here. Actually, I don't even know that he makes it to WrestleMania. Maybe he does. I think he wrestles Savage. Okay, but yeah, it's just bad. But yeah, mm. All right, we're to the watch along portion, y'all. We are going to get to match number 4. It's one of our favorite wrestlers, maybe not in the WWE. It's Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Oh,
Oh.
Oh,
versus the Big Boss Man. So fire up your peacocks. And as you're getting that out, we'll give you a time code of 1 hour, 12 seconds, 0.45. It'll get you with the Big Boss Man running to the ring. I was listening to the Jim Ross podcast today, and he was talking about Bubba and how he wound up in the WWE or WWF at the time. And basically, his contract had gotten to a point where WCW just wasn't going to match it. And, they were like, well, just stay out of loyalty. And he was like, no, I'm good. I'm going to go ahead and go. And, he goes up there, he makes a whole bunch of money wrestling Hogan all over the place, and, he was good for that, as much as you think about Bubba, and you're always thinking about him just being Cornette's bodyguard, he was bigger than that too. And he had a run with Dusty in NWA too. So, I mean, decent wrestler wrestler, terrible gimmick. Hutch, what was the reputation for Cobb County in 1990? Because he was, a Cobb County correction officer. What was the
Cobb
reputation?
County. I
Okay.
don't know
As
about
a
Wayne,
former
but Cobb
resident
County was
myself,
racist as fuck.
is
Racist,
that-
beat black folks. Repeat.
okay. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying because as a former resident of that county, but maybe 20 some odd years later, I was like, hey, hold up, okay, from Cobb County, Georgia, like, hey, ho,
Yeah,
what's
I remember
going
walking
on
down the
here?
street with fucking wearing some black coat and black and gloves because it was fucking cold, and I got pulled over by the po just
Oh my
walking down the
goodness.
street. Hey, like you just pull a robbery? Like fuck you.
Just fit the description,
Cold.
sir. Big nose, big dick, what was it? Big nose, big lips, dick hanging out. Say no more, sir. I can draw him
Yeah.
from memory. Yeah. All right. So if you pull up there, so it's season 3, episode 1, the Royal Rumble from 1990, 1 hour, 12 minutes, 45, I guess 1 hour, 12 minutes, and 0.45 seconds. You will see Big Bubba walking to the ring with Slick. So we'll go on a 3, 2, 1 count. 3,
Slick.
2. Wait, before I do this, can I check on see if Slick is dead? I keep just forgetting to do that. Is Slick dead? There's no way that nigga made it this far.
32 years later, I'm gonna say Slick is cross forearm.
Yeah.
I thought we looked this up before, and he's still alive.
I think that was Teddy Long getting our blacks.
Maybe.
Happy Black History Month, yeah.
Yeah, happy Black History. Yeah, come on, Slick, be alive. Come on, Slick. Come on.
A pimp named Slickback.
A pimp named Slickback. Yeah, there's no way that those two things aren't those. That Venn diagram is not crossed over.
He's still alive.
Woo! Slick.
70 what?
He was 57, so he's
80?
What is that? 43, 66.
66?
Slick was young here then.
57.
Dang, Slick. All right. Shocking. That's a shocking upset.
That's some. Who else is going backwards and shit? That's some bullshit.
All right. 3, 2, 1, y'all. We're going to 3, 2, 1 for our watch along. And here we go. Bubba's headed to the ring, Cobb County, Georgia. Not a good look.
He dead, right?
He's definitely dead.
Man, the big boss, man.
He's been dead probably 20 years, to be honest with you. Yeah. Again, we've been known to call him Big Bubba on here, even though he's the big boss man on this thing. But yeah, I mean, big athletic dude, could actually get it done in the ring. And here comes our marijuana smoking, cheating ass babyface, as we have called him. It's this hacksaw Jim Duggan. Wait, so we're close to Gulf War time here, aren't we?
The Gulf
War 90?
Yes.
OG Gulf War.
The original one was that was close.
Yeah, we gotta be close. I was wondering why we're running to the ring with a
I was looking up the time zones of 1990. Your boy John McEnroe was the first ever player to be expelled from the Australian Open on January 21st.
Yeah, I watched that. He didn't know that it was only 2 strikes, not 3 anymore. And he was probably going to win that shit because he was playing really well. Different podcast. Yeah. All right. So, anyway, we get to this match. This is not going to be a wrestling clinic, y'all. A collar and elbow tie up, though, and we're punching.
These hosses. This is a hoss fight.
Yeah, there's a hoss fight.
Big Bubba already drenched in sweat.
Already. Well, the funny thing is, like Hacksaw's doing hose like just by standing there. Like he throws him across the ropes, like yeah.
Like Bubba doesn't have a moveset, but he can take these falls out of the ring. He hits the ropes. Yeah. His strikes look convincing.
Right. He's a good worker.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
Mm. Yeah, he is definitely. Duggan is much bigger than he was when we first started this
Yeah.
series. He's definitely
Yeah.
eating well.
He's
I'm
right
big
with
ham.
him. Hammy
Yeah,
Eggers, yeah.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. But again, as I said on the last podcast, brother, Beavis,
And weed
like
make you eat too.
he's so over as a baby face.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that. I mean, again, he's never gonna get the world title, but I don't think they give him anything. We what King of the Ring
He was
or
king, and that's it.
yeah. I mean, they
He
got
never won like the hardcore or none of that dumb shit.
that's pre his time or post
Yeah.
his
Post.
time, but he
Uh,
never.
Speaking of speaking of championships, so Duggan lost the tournament to, I believe, the One Man Gang or Terry Gordy,
Mm,
one of the two,
yeah.
for the UWF title. Never held it. He had I think it maybe a run with the tag team title. And then
Mm-hmm.
Bubba eventually beat One Man Gang and lost it to Dr. Death, who I think was probably the last champion. But you
Okay.
got
damn.
former UWF championship contenders in here.
Nice.
And
Okay.
Bubba's
Look at
partner,
this. Oh,
initial Insecurity.
yeah. My goodness.
Bubba's partner when he came in was the Twin Towers with him and
Akeem?
Akeem, the
Akeem.
African Dream,
Yes.
aka One Man.
Gee, how do
One
I
Man
remember
Gang.
this dumb shit?
And,
Ah!
and also remember Akeem the Dream is a ripoff of Dusty. It's a rib
Yeah.
of Dusty Rhodes.
Right.
That's why he's all
Yeah, but you'll
doing
see
all
him
of
later. He's transitioned to full clown mode now. He was
yes,
a
yeah,
threat to Hogan. Now he's just a clown. He comes in and
just
out of the Rumble.
very
And
quickly.
Earthquake, they're building up Earthquake at this point. And then I think
Yeah.
Tugboat becomes Typhoon, and then it's the natural
Yeah.
disasters. So they're just
Awful.
cycling in the
That's
next
it.
round of
That's
Yes.
it.
That's it.
I need a drink.
It's a great move by Bubba here.
yeah,
About to do a 619, Bubba.
the inverted
Oh,
nutsack.
Mm-hmm. I mean, this is again not a hard hitting match. Bubba works great. Like he's really good. And then, but again, there's some cheating ass baby faces here. We already saw a back rake, and when we get to the freaking Rumble, man, the baby faces are awful
yeah.
because look at this, and and look, Duggan's hulking up too. Look at those rights and lefts. Oh no, so no backdrops for you.
False comeback.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness.
It's a lazy cover.
Lazy
Boss
cover.
man.
Come
You're
on.
gonna put him
Up the
away with
leg.
that.
You're not gonna put him away like that. Come on. Yeah.
Has there been a
goodness.
move yet?
Yeah, no. Right there. That was one collar and elbow tie up, and this was pretty much it. Yeah.
Bubba just rocked the farmer's blow and shot some snot out. Yeah, other than like chokes, punches, strikes,
Slick. Slick, don't mess up my
Slick in on
Jericho.
the action. That young man, Slick.
Yeah, he was young, man. Y'all, maybe, y'all will get this reference. I was like, man, I always just think Slick was Mr. Head, the English teacher. Still alive, by the way.
Yeah, Mr. Head. Hang
He's
in
still
there,
alive.
brother.
Shocking.
The neck twist.
Some great
Rest
camera
hold.
work here coming. Yes, definitely. The crowd's not really into this at first, but then when Duggan makes his comeback,
Oh yeah,
they are way into it.
because they just want the clown show.
They just wanted to get to that point, and this is the send them home happy era for the WWF.
Oh God,
So,
yes. Yeah, they're like,
Yeah.
when's our cheating ass babyface going to get to cheat?
Yeah, exactly. Awful. Oh, those are some big old ham and eggers. Here we go.
More punches.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Cuts him off again. Bubba is not having this.
Okay. Choking. I'm choking. It is amazing, at least when in comparison to AEW now. Like the referees are an integral part to the match.
Mm-hmm.
They're not just there standing around watching it. They are literally involved in it, trying to do something to make it look like a legitimate sporting event. Rake to the eyes.
More punches from Duck.
Yes. Yeah, it'd be interesting to go back and see some of those Mid South things before it switched over. Because he was I think I've heard or whatever, he was a heel at that time.
Yeah, he was a heel for most of that time, I think.
Yeah,
I
so
think
Duggan?
yeah,
in Mid South.
yeah.
Oh,
When we
really?
got to be watching UWF or whatever, he was a babyface, but like before it switched over, he was a heel.
My only memory, or not my only memory, but for some reason, one of my main memories of is it either him or Dr. Dev laying flat faced in the middle of the ring after they got beat by, I think it was one man gang or so, or he got jumped or something and got his ass beat. It was one of your
DiBiase
damn
took a couple of
VCR
those
tapes.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
DiBiase got that too. DiBiase was trying to feud a one man gang. I don't think he ever got anything on him. Loaded glove or no, I think he got his ass kicked all the time.
Bear hug, rest hold.
Yeah.
Rest all day. Yeah. So how's the wife and kids? Oh, we're divorced.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, headbutt.
Did you hear recently, like somebody they said that Duggan's house got broken into, and he like held him at
pulled a pistol on him. Yeah,
and I guess they said it was like whoever it was like it wasn't necessarily a break in. They had got some other shit at somebody else's house and were trying to like run to safety or whatever.
Oh yeah,
so,
yeah.
That's just crackhead stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Punching. Nope.
Oh, choking. Duggan's getting in on the choking.
This is much more of a match that would look like a UWF match, though. But I think Duggan did a little bit more back then. Nope, he's hulking up. He's Dugganing up. Oh my goodness, what a punch!
More punches.
They do this. Yeah.
More punches.
Man, more punches. Oh, again, running across the ropes. He's holding. Look at Buffalo, man. What a great bump. Oh my goodness. I can't believe they didn't at least give him a bullshit run with the Intercontinental belt. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. He should have had some version of a run.
I don't know what they were doing. Like, who even had the Warrior had it.
Warrior has it. Yeah. But once Warrior's about to ascend here in 3 months, it'd have been because that WrestleMania match, I mean, we're jumping ahead. That's title versus title too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, another punch. Oh, he's lifting him off his feet. He's knocking him out of his shoes. My God.
He has done punches and clotheslines this entire match.
Yeah. I think he threw a shoulder tackle in there.
Yeah.
Oh, the 10 count. I always like how the crowd like goes to the next
shoves the referee.
Yeah. Crowd's like,
there's your
1,
baby
2,
face.
3, 4, 5. Oh, he stopped punching. Oh, that's a big old clothesline. Oh, let me get back in the middle of the ring so you can do your move. Thank you.
Bubba's going top rope.
Never good for a big man.
Guessing his record on top rope offense is equivalent to Ric Flair's. Yep.
Shit's probably on 11.
He might have 2 out of 500.
No, off the top rope, probably 11. Come on. Oh.
But that's another thing.
Here we go.
Did Leap and Lanny Poffo ever had a wrestling card?
Oh, I'm sure he did. What's that, like 85, 86? No, that's 86-ish, 87. I'm sure he had a card.
I don't think so.
Mm.
Who would play?
What? Again. Yeah. Who's he beating up cops? Here we go. Oh, no, he takes Slick out.
The Slickster.
That young man, Slick.
Here we go.
Yep, nice stick. Cobb County. Oh,
the gut. Look at the spin.
I love how he's freaking like yes, the spin, yes, before.
So in the Royal Rumble, somebody ever came in every 5 minutes or 10 minutes or something?
2 minutes, I think.
2 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Weapon on weapon.
Yeah.
It's gotta get
now, I mean, this could be gimmicked up some way. I don't think it is, though. I think this is a literal 2x4. Maybe they hollowed it out or something, but you got to be careful. Oh, my goodness. Look at that bump. Oh, Slick. No. Oh, yeah. Beat the black man with a stick.
Gotta send him home happy.
Gotta send him home happy. Yeah. I mean, people are going nuts. They are like loving this shit. It's insane. I mean, they're going
quality
nuts.
lathered up.
Yo.
Oh,
Hey,
I forgot about this part. He
throwing
throws the
chair.
chairs at him. Hey, that was almost my head.
Hey. Oh.
Tough guy.
Mm-hmm.
He just hoed right in his face.
You son of a bitch. All right. We'll stop it here. All right. That's that. I mean, I get, again, a decent match, I guess. You know. I mean, but
I don't
better
think
than the other.
there was any
previous
angle.
ones.
They were just two big guys who
Fighting.
Yeah.
Like we can't put them in the Rumble for some reason, so let's get them out of there. We got to pay them. All right. Let's get into it, y'all. It's the Royal Rumble. It is the third Royal Rumble at this particular time. Last year's winner is Hulk Hogan. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. The last note on my Royal Rumble sheet here says, hold on, I'm getting there. This is why we all hate Hulk Hogan. And by the way, fuck Hulk Hogan. All right.
So to my recollection, last year it was actually pretty good, and then Hogan got in, eliminated like 11 people in a row, and then there was no. Then he had to get his bullshit angle where he cheated somebody else out, the Macho Man, I guess, and then it was like now this is pointless because you like the whole you bled everything out of it. So this one I think ends up with a similar arc because there's like in the first half there's like okay there's some rivals in here. They're actually still furthering their stories. There's this plot with DiBiase, and then it just kind of falls apart.
Now, DiBiase is going to draw the first number here. If you're not sure, like Hutch said before, somebody comes in every 2 minutes. The crowd is hyped for these 2-minute entries. Like, after about a minute of whoever's fighting, they're just like, who's coming next? That's basically what, I mean, because it's like, okay, that's great, but who's next? So I'm surprised they never even run it up to like 90 seconds just to shorten the show, but they don't. So 30 men, we're going to go in the order of their entrance and then who eliminates who as we go through like each individual number. And then Hutch and I had a previous conversation before we started recording about entrance number 2 here. So number 1 is Ted DiBiase. Storyline wise, you can't. Storyline wise, he was he was 30th last year. And then this time he's first.
Didn't he buy it or some shit?
Mm-hmm. Yes, he did. So all right, and so yes, and so entry number 2 is Coco Beware. Okay, so
is he the Birdman yet?
The Birdman, yes, he is the Birdman at this time. So as Hutch and I were talking about before we started recording, like we used to watch wrestling with ourselves and with our aunt who loved wrestling. I'm assuming that was probably Georgia or Mid-South that we used to see.
I think it was Mid-South.
I think it was 2.
Crocodile, or was it not Crocodile Dundee? Bill Dundee and
Bill Dundee. Well, that's Memphis.
That was Memphis.
Yeah, that would have been Memphis.
I think it was in that realm.
Yeah. And so Coco was on one of those ones that we were seeing, and our aunt loved this dude. And we, as 2 young black men trying to get by, was like, hey, shit, it's on Coco Beware. That mother blanker had the greatest drop kicks. Like he was, as I said to Hutch, he wouldn't understand the term. He's a white meat babyface. Okay, just a little darker meat. And he's never gonna get a title or anything like that, but he was like a credible babyface, kind of dude. And then he comes to the WWF and they give him a bird. And that was the end of Coco Beware. I mean, that's basically it. It just sucks. I mean, he was so good back then, like as just like that young babyface dude. Again, great drop kick still, all that. Now because he's black and he's in the WWF, his head is hard as a rock. You can't throw him into the turnbuckles and shit. Like, oh, is he shit? Is he black? Is he Samoan? Like, because you can't do shit on the turnbuckle against him or whatever. He's goes for a big move, and he's the first one eliminated by DiBiase.
Damn.
Like he gets back dropped out of the ring. That's it.
Before
Boom. So it's just
before the next competitor comes in.
before the next competitor comes. I mean, it's awful. Just, I mean, whatever. God damn
Damn. That's awful.
A backdrop over the top. Remember the rules. You have to go over the top rope and land on your feet. That's it. So who's number 3? Marty Jannetty. It's freaking Oates, Garfunkel, Gibson. Like, fuck. I was like, Marty
Lanny
Jannetty.
Poffo.
Yeah, I was like, Marty Jannetty, he ain't gonna be in this shit for very long, and he's not. Pick up Bears, brother Beavis, if you remember anything about Jannetty getting tossed here.
No, it's basically the same thing. The storyline in this is like, DiBiase has got the number 1 seed, and they actually feature him for these first 4 minutes because he
they
takes
make him
out
look great.
Coco, he takes out Marty Jannetty. He's got a couple moments where he's the only, basically he owns the ring. But yeah, Jannetty does some drop kick. I think he goes for like a crossbody.
He does,
and DiBiase ducks him over the top.
Yeah, throws himself over the top rope. Freaking set, yeah, whatever. So at this point, still just DiBiase in the ring. Number 4, Jake the Snake Roberts. Again, I keep saying this as I kill people's dreams. He sucks. I don't know. Again, the DDT, great move. Right, his sucks. His punches suck. His short little clothesline thing, that still looks pretty good. And the DDT is fine. But the rest of it,
yeah,
his
sucks.
father beat the shit out of him, apparently. Too much.
Oh, I don't think it wasn't just beating.
I also think he was better as a heel, with his heel psychology and whatnot.
That's fine.
Because now it's like people just like the snake in the DDT and whatever. He's like, trying to get paid.
Well, they're like, oh, his promos were so good. I'm like, listening to this. I'm like, they're really not. Like, I don't get it. Like, I don't
the one thing I will say is because he comes in that whole parade of pre-tape bullshit. So he's at least not screaming and like some over-the-top character in the microphone. He's just got some like, it's not the one who's the first in the ring. It's the first one in the ring to do the thing. So it's just like some nonsense proverb sounding bullshit. But at least it's like, it's not just ho tough guy, that sort of thing. So whatever.
Number 5 is Randy Macho Man Savage. So now we have Jake Roberts, Randy Savage, and Ted DiBiase, and of course they jump up on Jake, beat up on him. He had been feuding with Ted DiBiase in the previous year, Jake the Snake Roberts, and Randy Savage is just a heel at this point in time. They gang up on Jake, and then number 6, as I kill other childhood memories, it's Roddy Piper. He sucks.
Yeah, you can't stand him.
Roddy Piper sucks. I don't get it. I don't get the promos. They're nonsensical. His punches suck. His other moves suck. He's just a fucking Tasmanian devil of just spinning around doing absolutely nothing. Like
playing the bagpipes.
Come on, man. That might be one of his better things. And this nigga got so many eye pokes and back rakes. God damn. Like, he's a baby face.
Yeah. Although I will say, like, this is so in the ring now, you have DiBiase, Jake, Macho Man, and Piper. And there's some legitimate, like, the heels working together. Yeah. I mean, so this was the stretch where, like, yeah, you actually have like 4 professional wrestlers that are actually working the battle royal right now. So there was the early stretches here where it's like, with the right combination of people, there's actually something interesting going on in the ring.
Right. And this is pre-Spots Fest, situation. They're really trying to do a battle royal here. When people aren't, as I've said, the thing you have to land on your feet when they try to do that thing. What was it, Kofi Kingston? Like the one of the New Day now, where his bit was like he would not go on his feet. You do a handstand or some shit and walk on the floor or land someplace and jump back in like he was Spider-Man. But then the last 2 years, the spot has been fucked up and he hasn't been able to do it. So yeah, it is what it is. Number 7, y'all, is the Warlord. So let's recap who's in the ring here. He sucks. Okay, so our baby faces are Jake Roberts and Roddy Piper. Our heels are Savage Savage, DiBiase, and the Warlord. So you get a 3-on-2 action here. Warlord comes in and actually starts kicking the shit out of all the baby faces. He's so huge. We said on the last one, he looks exactly like Hawk at this point.
Yeah.
Road Warrior Hawk.
And I think last year, like, he came in and went right back out, if I'm not mistaken. I think he had the 10-second tour of the ring.
He was in and out. Number 8, y'all, is Bret Hart. He comes running in, faces off of Randy Savage. Again, Hart, he's great. Everything he does is so clean, crisp. Everything he does, he's just really, really good. We just hated him because he was in the WWF. All right, number 9.
I think somewhere in here, Jake goes out, right?
I'm getting it. Yeah, it's under here. He comes after Bad News Brown comes in at 9. Bad News Brown, he sucks. Again, I text y'all.
Happy Black History Month.
Yeah, this is a full-on affirmative action hire, man. Like he offers nothing.
Did you see the? If you watch the Tales from the Territories, they basically they say they credit him with killing Calgary because he was doing like the fork to the head on their daytime syndicated show, and they got taken off the air. So
New Jack Brown. Okay, I mean, golly, yeah, he's awful. Like there's every pay-per-view we see. 2 what we saw, he walked off, got out of the ring, and just left. And then this one
was Junkyard still with us, or he transcended by now?
I think
he did. He's in WCW.
Yeah, he's about to show up in the WCW. I don't think he's there right now, but I think he's about to get there.
Yes. And if you didn't know Hutch from the Tales from the Territories, Dog had a problem. Yeah. Yeah, he was Tony Montana at this point. So yeah. And
one more now, isn't it? Now, ain't the story that his vehicle stopped on the train track? Ain't that the story for him?
Oh, I haven't heard that one. Is that how he died?
Ain't that how Junkyard died?
He just had a heart attack.
I thought.
Well, when the train was coming towards him.
The white train.
I don't know.
The white. I'm looking.
I vaguely remember though watching that and thinking when he was in WCW or whatever, and I was like, "Damn, Dog is fat, and not the good fat." Yeah, I was like, "Damn, he looks really out of shape." So it explains a lot. All right,
Junkyard Dog died June 1st, 1998, in a single car accident on Interstate 20 near Forest, Mississippi. Returning from his daughter's high school graduation.
That's messed up.
That's awful. Yes. All right. Jake Roberts gets eliminated by
Rip
Savage.
Dog.
Yes, Rip Dog. He was trying to DDT DiBiase, and then he gets clotheslined by Savage. He's over the top. So Jake Roberts is out. Number 10, American Dream. It's Dusty Rhodes.
He's just a common man.
Dusty?
Hard at his dreams.
Dusty, yes.
He's just a common man.
I'm going to get a drink. I'll be back. I can't.
It goes right after Macho.
Yeah, he does. And then he's going to be
dismisses him in short order.
Yeah. He's going to be feuding with them. He's full polka dot. He has, my note says he has his Manny with him, or Mammy. Excuse me. And then he eliminates Savage, if my notes are correct, right?
Yeah, in pretty short order, actually.
Yeah, he's out of there pretty quickly. Number 11. It's the not Vanilla Big Man. I guess it is the Vanilla Big Man. It's Andre the Giant.
It's hard to watch.
Yeah, it's so bad. He's so slow. He looks in pain. Yeah. But he gets an elimination.
He doesn't get within, like a foot away from the ropes the entire time.
Yeah, he eliminates the Warlord because the Warlord sucks. Yep. So let's reset our heels and baby faces here. DiBiase still in the ring. Bad News Brown and Andre the Giant. Our baby faces are Bret Hart, Dusty, and Piper. So an even set of people in there. As we got through an 11 people, we still got 6 in the ring. Number 12, it's Hutch's boy. He went to get a drink. It's the Red Rooster, y'all. He's a full-on
Terry Taylor.
He's a full-on heel at this point, though, and goes in and attacks Dusty. All right, so Piper eliminates Bad News Brown, and Bad News Brown is mad. Instead of walking off like he has at every other pay-per-view, pay-per-view that we have watched. He then attacks Piper and they fight off.
Yeah.
And that's the end. Like Piper never gets eliminated. He doesn't go over the top. He just goes out to the ring and then they just fight off into the back and to never be seen again. Awful. Just lazy booking, as they say.
Yeah, I think then they started a program from there, but who cares?
Oh God, I wonder who won that.
Yeah, right.
Come on, man. Jesus Christ. 13 is Axe from Demolition. He comes in and then Andre eliminates the Red Rooster. That's terrible. That's the only person Andre could get rid of is the Rooster.
He and the Warlord.
Oh yeah, he got rid of Warlord too. That's better.
But that's
yeah.
it.
And then this whole thing becomes everybody gang up on Andre, which makes sense. You know, he's the biggest person in there, so a bunch of people go and attack Andre to knock him out. Number 14 is Haku, and Haku and Andre are the Colossal Connection.
Colossal Connection.
Yes, they are the World Tag Team Champions at this point in time. But gee, I wonder when they lose it, who got pinned?
Who could lay down?
Yeah, I mean, who would have gotten pinned? My note on here says though they really believed in Haku's ass because he was I think he was king of the ring as well.
Yeah,
he was King Haku. I mean, he couldn't talk, but I mean, they put Heenan with him and to be his mouthpiece, but they really believed in him. They gave him quality matches and wins.
Haku, I got it.
Yeah,
I can't. Yeah, I kind of remember
Haku. He kind of looked black, but he's not.
It pulls up.
It might break up a bunch of people.
Pulls up anime.
Yeah,
let's see it, Haku.
Yeah.
Oh damn, him.
Yeah, he was tag team champ, king of the ring. Like I mean, they really believed in him.
The Tongan death grip.
Yep. 15 is Smash. He enters, fights against Haku and against Demolition. So so the tag team champs are in and Demolition is fighting against them. So there's a big fight between Demolition and the Colossal Connection. An awful name for a tag team, by the way. Absolutely awful. My note also says Demolition sucks.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who needed that note? We all knew this.
Yeah.
I think Bret Hart gets eliminated by Dusty off camera. Like they're fucking with Andre. It's like, oh, by the way, Bret Hart's gone.
Oh yeah, it's in my note here coming up. It's coming up after Bizarro Dusty. So let's reset who's still in. Our heels, DiBiase, Andre the Giant, and Haku are still in. And then our baby faces, Bret Hart, Dusty, and Axe and Smash. So 4-on-3 for baby faces. Okay, and then number 16 to even the score, it's Hakeem, the African Dream, which again is Bizarro Dusty Rhodes. So yeah, that's funny because he's doing in the ring and he's doing all his Dusty mannerisms, which I thought to be fucking hilarious. So I wonder how Dusty ever felt about that shit. And then
you could guess.
Yeah, Dusty then eliminates Bret Hart's a little babyface on babyface violence there. I'm sure Bret Hart still holds that grudge. That's all he does. Do you know that about Bret Hart, Hutch? That he just holds grudges against shit that happened 30 years ago?
Yeah, he holds grudges.
Yeah, I mean, it's bad, man.
And still, shit, his brother died in the ring on some bullshit. He got shit stolen from him. He got attacked when he was signing autographs. Fuck it.
That's fair, but he's forgiven. He's forgiven like all those people except Goldberg, man. Like Goldberg ended my career, and that was it. He forgave Vince McMahon for putting his brother in a situation to drop to his death, but you can't forgive Goldberg for an errant kick to your head. Come on, son. You gotta let it go. All right. So Demolition. Go ahead.
Fuck it. I wouldn't forgive shit.
I got you. Demolition eliminates Andre. Bad. My note says a bad flop out of the ring. 17. He was black, we thought too, but we didn't know. Jimmy Snuka, y'all. Kind of hard to watch.
Yeah. Also, another clownish baby face over with the fans, but yeah, not a good person.
Yes. Right. Yeah. We're as older men here, and not that we ever wore them, but anyway. But at some point, you'd be like, you know what? I can't be in these bikini bottoms anymore, man. Like I need to put on. I need some full coverage. Snuka is at that point. Like it don't look the same as it did in '82, bro. Yeah. You need some full coverage. to kind of cover that up because you got more belly than abs at this point. Snuka comes in, he eliminates Akeem. Let's see what says he's still getting. Oh yeah, it's me making the jokes about him being fat. All right, number 18, Dino Bravo, y'all. He sucks
Yeah.
too. Also dead.
Yeah.
Actually, there was a run here where there's nothing but dead people entering. Like currently dead.
30 years. It's 32 years ago.
Come on, son. Don't.
32
come on,
years
man.
ago. That's a motherfucking couple lifetimes. It's in wrestling. With
Okay.
all the drugs and shit.
But sometimes these people have been dying even more recently, and it's just like, damn, they're only 7 years older than me. Because them motherfuckers looked a lot older when we was younger. That's what I'm saying.
I can't believe. Well, Jim Cornette ain't that older than me. He just
turned 60, I think.
Yeah, that shit.
Yeah.
That motherfucker has been doing that shit since he was what, 19
or earlier. Yeah, that's fair. All right, so yeah, Dino Bravo enters. 19 is Canadian Earthquake because he had switched over and defected, I guess. And he comes in, eliminates Dusty and Axe. All right, y'all gonna be surprised. I always kind of liked Earthquake, and I think I just like doing this move when on the video game where you could just like and be around people and then put your dick in, or sit, in their face like that. I just like that move, I don't know.
Yeah. See, but it's funny because they keep him real strong here because obviously he's Hogan's next, Hogan's next adversary.
Next
victim.
Belt notch.
Yes. Bravo eliminates Earthquake, and they're tag team partners of some sort, so that created a little bit of tension between them two, which was fun. And then number 20 is Jim the Anvil Neidhart. This was, I think, the run of people that are deceased. And he comes in.
No, it's not. It's not Neidhart and Warrior.
No.
Earthquake dead?
Yeah, Earthquake's dead.
Snuka, Bravo.
Sneaker. Yeah, it was like, Snuka, Dino, Earthquake, Neidhart, Warrior. Yeah.
Gang can't be around, right?
No, I think we found out that he was around.
Who?
Akeem the African Dream.
I think he is still with
I think he was, like when it came up before.
Haku's still with us.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, he is.
63 or something.
Huh.
Yes. Yeah, so Jim Neidhart eliminated in a heel and babyface unification. Oh, they eliminate I can't even read my handwriting here. Earthquake. Yeah, so everybody teamed up on Earthquake like they did on Andre. And Bravo was a part of that, and he was mad or whatever that he got helped eliminated by his partner. So our reset after Prelation 20, heels left, DiBiase and Dino Bravo, surprising. Baby faces, Smash, Snuka, and Neidhart. Okay,
wait a minute.
Is the part.
Wait, one man gang was Akeem the African Dream?
Yeah.
It's just catching up.
What?
Yes. Same. He just got some hair, man. He just got some hair. He's alive, correct?
Yeah, he's still kicking, just not as high.
Yeah.
His birthday is in 10 days.
What? Shh, we've stopped talking. That's a super jinx. All right. So this is the part of the match where it's dead. Like there's no stars at all at this point. I mean, DiBiase is a star, but everybody else is a freaking jag for sure. And so you're waiting for them 2 minutes, and it's a long 2 minutes. And he's stocked over there. And so our entrant number 21 is the Ultimate Warrior. My note literally says, ugh. Okay, he comes in, beats everybody up. People touch him at this point. He's no selling anything. Like people are hitting him. He's just, he's like just a bull in a china shop. And I have no idea how this got over. Y'all help me out. How did this get over? He's terrible.
He's a clown. He's a clown. Cheating baby face in the WWF. That's all you had to be.
And bulked up steroid monster with dangles on his muscles or whatever that was.
They could make the little face paint or the face mask for the kids.
Yeah, the face mask rip off right here. Yeah. You take your best parts of everybody else, the Road Warriors and
Yeah.
And Lex Luger and
He couldn't talk.
nope.
He could. I mean,
What?
his promos
His
were worse.
promos.
Yeah.
As I descend into the ring with the 30 combatants who have made the sacrifices. What do you mean he couldn't talk? The man was a genius on the microphone.
Yes,
And
exactly.
we will see who is the ultimate one. Come on.
He's
Can't
terrible.
Ultimate
He
Warrior
had
can't
nice
talk.
teeth.
He did,
Come on,
actually. I
man.
noticed that
Yeah,
too.
he did. Yes.
Damn, how do I remember that shit? But yeah.
Well, man, he's terrible. I'm sorry. It's not acceptable in any
But
way,
you're
shape,
right.
or
They
form.
did like tee up 5 of the blandest. Like, yeah,
Oh,
you can
yeah.
just wipe all these guys out.
Yeah,
It's
you
fine.
could take them all out. So, yeah. So he eliminates Bravo. Rick Martel, the model, comes in. And literally, my next note says, oh, Tito got to be coming soon after
Yep.
that.
Yep.
And sure he is at 23. But yeah, Haku eliminates Smash at some point in time there before that. And then here comes Tito. I was like, Tito will not be long for this earth either. I heard on a podcast the other day when he retired, he became a teacher.
Yeah.
Imagine if your teacher is Tito Santana.
Arriba!
Arriba, you fuck up in that class. That's your ass. Yeah, that didn't
Fine,
work
bro.
out too well.
What are you teaching? Or
I don't know.
taught?
I ain't trying to. I don't know, but
And of course,
I ain't trying to
Ventura
do this homework.
drops the Chico
Yeah,
immediately.
Chico. Of course. Yeah, it's awful.
They're probably best friends.
Yeah, no thanks. Yeah, my note says Tito's in long-term booking with him and Martel. It's been going on for like years since Strikeforce broke up, I think.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Oh
awful.
no!
No.
Well, yeah, because it was.
It was one of them. Maybe it was a summer one. It's been at least 6 months.
Yeah.
Yeah. Number 24, it's the Honky Tonk Man, y'all. Okay.
Next, can we just?
Yeah.
Next.
Yeah.
Science.
Yes,
I
exactly.
mean, not that I want to get to number 25, but let's just not dwell here.
I know. Martel eliminates Neidhart, and then who eliminated DiBiase?
Was probably the Warrior, right?
Yeah, Warrior eliminates DiBiase, and he had the longest run in the
Rumble.
in the Royal over 44 minutes. Until I think Flair comes in and does the whole thing.
No, Flair goes 3 to the end. I'm pretty sure Benoit went all the way.
Okay.
We don't speak about that.
Yeah.
I think Shawn Michaels did as well.
Okay. Yeah. So it just became a thing at that point to give somebody.
There's
a super push.
3 or 4 people who have done it, and then Rhea Ripley was the first to do the women's.
Nice. All right, number 25 is everybody's favorite wrestler, Hulk Hogan.
Oh,
Let's reset. Our heels, Warrior, Hogan, Martel.
Warrior's not a heel?
I know. I'm fucking with you because they wrestle like heels. Our heels are Rick Martel, Honky Tonk Man, and Haku. And our baby faces are Hogan, Warrior, Tito, and Snuka is still somehow in this thing. That's kind of surprising. So a little 4-on-3 action. I mean, look. Come on, man. Like, this is Hogan doesn't need to win this. Spoiler alert. And he doesn't need to like shine all over everybody else, even if he was going to. But that's not what happens. It's the exact opposite. He eliminates Snuka and Haku. My note says, Hogan eliminates Snuka and Haku, the colored folks.
Yep.
Shocking.
Yep.
Gee, that's awful.
Yeah, shocking that he's the one that eliminates.
And then the Warrior's like, you missed one.
Yeah, exactly.
Tito's out next.
It's Tito's out next. Yes,
Damn,
exactly.
that's awful.
Yeah, it's true. Come on, son.
Once the white saviors hit the ring, POC, be on guard.
Exactly. Man, yes. Warrior eliminates the other minority, Santana. So, and then Hogan eliminates the Honky Tonk Man. Okay. So, those two are in there, but before they could face off, Shawn Michaels comes in, the Heartbreak Kid.
12 seconds later.
Yes, and then he gets quickly eliminated by the Warrior. And now we have these two wackadoodles in the ring. The preview for WrestleMania, 4, 3, 6? What WrestleMania are we coming up on?
4?
6, I think.
6. Oh, I think it's 6. This is at the Sky Dome or whatever. Or I think this is the one at Sky Dome.
It is WrestleMania 6.
Yeah, that's they look at each other. They both pump their faces at each other, point, gesticulate, and all this stuff for a little bit of time. And
This
again,
is where I stick my needles at.
yeah, exactly. And again, to be fair, this is the two biggest baby faces. Baby faces fighting baby faces, an unheard of, not unheard of, but a very rare situation back then, like for sure. And so the idea that they might, fight each other, I mean, people were going nuts. I mean, we may hate both of them, but the people were way into this shit. And they look at each other, they point, they do a couple of attempted shoulder tackles where nobody gives an inch. Then they did the
tick tackles.
Yeah, then they did the cross rope thing. I was like, this is not y'all's wheelhouse to be doing that. I'm not sure why y'all are doing this, but yeah, it's just a face off. I mean, we will recap that WrestleMania coming up soon enough, but yeah, what did you think? Again, trying to be fair for the moment that is a moment.
Yeah, I mean, but you got to wonder, like, as much as Hogan's been been featured on these, like, he's had a pre-tape. He came in at 25. He's been in the ring like what, 6 minutes?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So definitely, like, you got to wonder, like, how was Hogan dealing with? Oh yeah, this is the end of me. Clearly, this is the new star. It was the two biggest stars, but they were definitely posturing the Warrior to be the big star. So I can't imagine he was too happy with that. But
yeah, well, I think is it the rumor that Hogan thought he was going to be an action movie star?
Probably.
Yeah, that No Holds Barred just came out.
Well, No Holds Barred already come out, and I'm sure by this point they had known that it was garbage. But it could have been a bad movie, and I think he thought that's why he was going to step aside here, because he thought he was going to become like Sylvester Stallone, and he really turned out to be Frank Stallone. Or Jackie.
Slap on Frank Stallone.
Or Jackie Stallone. They are what they are. Anyway, so 27 comes in to finally break up this freaking bro fest, and it's the Barbarian. He comes in, they fight. 28 is Rick Rude, and now we get a chance for them to work together. And then as they're attempting to eliminate Warrior, as Hogan's off to the side, Hogan comes in from behind and eliminates, helps push Warrior out, and Warrior's out of the Royal Rumble. So I guess that's their out, because like, oh, I didn't mean to do it, my bad. I'm sorry, whatever, but that's their out. So yeah. All right. 29. I can't read my handwriting. Who was 29?
Hercules.
Oh God. How in the fuck? Yo, also dead. Here's another run of dead folks too. Barbarian's alive though. Yeah, Hercules being at 29. Again, how does a dude with her last name Hernandez not have a tan? Come on, man. Get to the tanning bed or something for real. Like he's so white. He's so pale, man. God almighty.
Yeah.
And he sucks. Hercules Hernandez is terrible.
He's vanilla big man. Vanilla in color and style.
Yes, absolutely awful. So yeah. And then our last contestant is Mr. Perfect at number 30. He comes in. And so now when we get to our final few folks here, our heels are Rude, Barbarian, and Perfect, and then Hogan and Hercules. So a little 3-on-2 heel action. But whatever. I mean, everybody knows where this is going, right? Like, I mean, we already spoiled it, but how it gets there is just as bad if you hate Hulk Hogan. It's just the reason that you hate fucking Hulk Hogan. They do get a chance to, get some double team action when it's just Rude, and when after Hercules gets eliminated by who Perfect throws him out.
Hercules goes out for Rick Rude.
Yes. Okay. And then, it's Rude and Perfect versus Hogan. And they get some double team action here and there or whatever. And then there's like kind of the accidental elimination of Rick Rude, goes over the top rope, and then that leaves our last two people, Mr. Perfect and Hulk Hogan. and Perfect does everything that he's supposed to do. He executes the perfect plex. Again, not really a move that you want to do for devastation. I mean, but Hogan took that shit. I was surprised that Hogan took it and like sold it like that. Well, kind of sold it. And then, you know what happened, y'all.
Hulk up.
Like, I'm surprised he didn't kick out of his finisher. And he hulks up and eventually just throws him over the top. Like, just off some bullshit. It wasn't like, oh, no, eliminate. I'm a real American. He sucks. Hogan's terrible. The way he's booked is terrible. This is why, again, I can't imagine anybody over the age of 15 would cheer for this motherfucker. And it is what it is. He's terrible, though. It's terrible. The book, everything about that man, about Hogan, is just awful.
And this is what they wanted. Like, they sold this like pay-per-view after pay-per-view after pay-per-view. And I was thinking about like in the modern era, one of the things that killed WCW was like the end of every pay-per-view was the NWO just standing over whoever they fucked and squashed. It's the same thing, but in reverse. I'm like, you can't feed people the same thing like time after time.
Eventually get tired of it.
Yeah.
Right.
And this is definitely the era where people are starting to get tired of Hogan, I think.
Yes, it's coming for sure. And he is going to leave and learn a new hold. And then he's going to come back. And then all these problems with Warrior after he becomes champion, because they were like, oh, this dude is insane.
Yeah. You left off the part where after Warrior gets eliminated, he gets back and just randomly gets back in the ring, like takes a shot at everybody, and then jumps out and races to the back. Like,
oh yeah, he does run away.
What was that
he does run off.
be?
Yeah, he sucks. God almighty. So yeah, it's and again he does leave. He comes back. Warrior's nuts. And then, Hogan winds up getting back to the top there as Warrior goes into exile, at least for a little bit. And this whole process of trying to bring him back, is he back? Is he not back? It just goes on for a couple of years and, kind of into Raw first starting. And then after that, he's persona non grata. He's gone. He doesn't show up again until he winds up showing up on that year that he was in on Monday Nitro and WCW. He owned his name at that point, so he was the Warrior then. Mm-hmm. And then a few years later, he was dead. I mean, that's it. It doesn't end great for him at all.
Not Warrior was in WCW?
Briefly, they brought him in.
Yeah, so Hogan could get his dub back.
Yeah.
Team Get Back crew.
Wow.
1998.
Yeah. That was near the end of what was WCW also. They were looking for anything to happen. But yeah, they brought him back. He came out. He did a couple of ridiculous promos on air where you had no idea what the fuck he was talking about. And yeah, that was it. I think him and Hogan was that at Alcatraz, or maybe that was Piper that they wrestled over there. But yeah, it was like one match and that was it. It was Team Get Back. But yeah. So I mean, overall, I hate freaking battle royals to begin with. So I mean,
like battle royal.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. Not a fan. Overall, what do you think of the show, though, Brother Beavis?
I said, there was an early stretch in the Rumble itself where it felt like they were actually trying to tell a little bit of story. Ended up with people paired up that hated each other, whatever. But then, once it got to the two idiots, it all fell apart, and all of the preliminary matches were bad. Even the Duggan Bossman was okay, but it really was just Duggan, throwing fists and selling, and then
why wouldn't he be in the Royal Rumble?
Yeah, that's a good question too. Putting him in there instead of like the Rockers or something would make more sense. But yeah,
but he would have had to lose, so that's one more loss.
Well, shit, yeah, and
Hutch, what'd you think of the Royal Rumble?
I'm still finding out these people, or some of them are dead, Someone's still alive, but that's even more surprising.
Just discovered the one-man gang and Hakeem were the same person.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Why?
Yeah, I mean, and again, how why or how would you know too if you weren't
I
paying
don't know.
attention?
That's like that. I
And
remember
again,
some of the shit right now is amazing. I don't
yeah,
know why.
I mean, yeah, your recall is always freaking monstrous or unearthly. Like we've always known
Again,
that.
for dumb shit, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But when did Cool Ranch Doritos come out? Anyway, all right. So as we go through 1990 here, our next card would wind up being in WCW NWA. Could you pull that up for us, brother Beavis, to see what card it
Let's
is?
see.
I think it's bad. So
Halloween Havoc? No.
1990. No, we're in because again, remember they're running these quarterly, so it's not. Yeah, and again, I don't even know if Halloween Havoc was a. Yeah, I guess it was a thing already because we reviewed one of them. The first pay-per-view in WCW in 1990.
Wrestle War.
Yeah, that's it. Oh
Yep.
yeah, that card sucks, sir. Run that shit down. You thought
Kevin
this was
Sullivan and Buzz Sawyer versus the Dynamic Dudes.
Stop! Can we
the
skip?
Dynamic Dudes. Nice.
Norman the Lunatic and Cactus Jack Manson with
Yeah,
Kevin Sullivan.
Manson, of course.
Rock and Roll at Midnight. Road
Mm.
Warriors and Skyscrapers. With this skyscraper
Right,
is
yeah,
Mark
that's
Callis
good.
and the Masked Skyscraper.
Yes. So the Undertaker
Stop.
versus
Stop for
Yeah,
the love
Brian
of
Pillman and Tom
Peace
Zink
Dragon.
for the versus the Freebirds.
except for the U.S. tag team titles.
Yeah.
Which
The
Freebirds?
Steiners, Michael Hayes and Jimmy Garvin.
No.
And
Yeah.
the Steiners versus the Andersons for the NWA Tag Team Championship that
Okay.
I feel a watch along.
There's a watch along there. Yeah.
And Ric Flair versus Lex Luger.
And I'm not putting Luger over era.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And fuck him.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Okay. So yeah, that'll be our next what
And
we missed in wrestling.
RoboCop's just around the corner, y'all.
Yes, RoboCop is coming. Anyway, yeah, so we'll be back for that, coming up soon. Next week we kind of jumped into here because the comic books that we were reading didn't come out this week. What that wasn't scheduled to come out this week is scheduled to come out next week. As you listening or watching the Marvel Hacks, we're not even sure which book it is, but yes, we are in the Sins of Sinister, Part 3, and so that's kind of where we are, y'all. All right, so remember you can find this podcast SoundCloud, iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, rate, review, subscribe, iHeartRadio. Just put in Brothers Comics. This shit will come up for sure, no doubt about it. And that's kind of where we are. All right, so we're going to get to the signing off portion of the night. Again, I'm the producer. I'm signing off. Magnum BB, go ahead and sign off.
With the perfect sign off.
Yes, nice. But yeah, spit the gum out. And,
Yeah.
do that bit. Yeah, perfect. Perfect was awesome, man. God almighty. He's been dead forever. Hutch, go ahead and sign off.
Akeem, a dream. Yeah, have a good night.
Hakeem, the one-man dream.
Yeah, exactly. Now I don't know. I want to freak you out, but Virgil and Vernon are like the same dude too. Wait, was he? What was his name in freaking WCW? It wasn't Vernon. It was Virgil and
Vincent.
Vincent. Yes, he was Vincent on
because
Monday Night
Virgil was a shot at Dusty and Vincent was a shot at Vince.
Yes, exactly. Love. All right, y'all. We'll see y'all next week. Peace, everybody.
See you.